Throughout human history, civilizations have chronicled births of divine beings, children of light, messengers of wisdom, avatars born of virgins. These stories arose in temples and tombs long before Christianity. In Egypt, around 3100 BC, the virgin goddess Isis conceived Horus by divine means. His birth became one of the three sacred mysteries of Egyptian religion. The sun god Ra was likewise said to be born of a virgin. Ancient inscriptions record that Queen Mautmis, visited by the god Thoth, was told she would bear a divine son destined to redeem and rule. In Persia, between 1200 and 1000 BC, Zoroaster's mother was described as pure and untouched. Surrounded by divine light at conception, the Persian king Cyrus, 6th century BC, was also deemed anointed by God, believed to carry divine essence in mortal form. Across the Mediterranean, Greece echoed the theme. Pythagoras, 570 BC, was conceived through a vision. Plato, 429 BC, was said to be born of the virgin Perictione under divine guidance. Aesculapius, born in a humble stable at Epidaurus, was the son of a god made flesh. And Apollonius of Tyana, born in 41 BC, was heralded by divine messengers as a spiritual redeemer. But one fact remained as the common factor. They all predated Christianity. Even beyond the Old World, the same pattern emerged. In Mesoamerica, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, was said to have been born of a virgin foretold by a heavenly messenger. And in the Mayan Yucatan, Zama was called the only begotten son of the supreme god. Even in early Sumerian and Akkadian texts, over 2,500 years before the birth of Christ, the goddess Namu and the god Enki were said to create life through sacred waters and divine breath rather than human union. Gilgamesh, in some Mesopotamian versions, was the offspring of a goddess and mortal, bridging divinity and humanity. Across thousands of years and distant continents, the narrative pattern remained: conception without physical union, divine birth as a mark of sacred purpose. These myths, though separate in origin, all conveyed the same yearning: the attempt to translate cosmic law into human story, to explain how divine consciousness could enter mortal form. At the biological barrier, why a human virgin conception is impossible. In biological terms, human reproduction is bound by exacting mechanisms. Every new human life begins with fertilization, the union of a mature egg cell, ovum, and a sperm cell, spermatozoon. Both are the products of meiosis, a specialized type of cell division that reduces chromosome number by half, producing haploid cells, each containing 23 chromosomes instead of the normal. Spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis inside the testes. Primordial germ cells undergo spermatogenesis, a 64-day process in which diploid stem cells divide by meiosis to form haploid spermatids. These then mature through spermiogenesis, transforming into streamlined spermatozoa, with a head containing tightly packed DNA and a flagellum for motility. Each sperm carries either an X chromosome, which will produce a female if combined with a maternal X, or a Y chromosome, producing a male. Without sperm, no Y chromosome can ever be contributed, meaning that any offspring produced without fertilization could only carry 2 X chromosomes, biologically producing a female embryo. Even then, mammalian parthenogenesis, development from an unfertilized egg, cannot produce a viable embryo due to genomic imprinting, the requirement that certain genes be activated only from the paternal genome. 2. Capacitation and fertilization. Even after ejaculation, sperm are not immediately capable of fertilization. They must undergo capacitation, a biochemical transformation within the female reproductive tract that alters the membrane of the sperm head, enabling it to recognize and penetrate the egg's outer layers, the corona radiata and zona pellucida. Without this journey, the sperm remains inert, unable to fuse with the egg. The ovum itself survives for only 12 to 24 hours after ovulation. If no sperm reaches it within that window, it degenerates naturally. For a fertilization event to occur, millions of sperm must first travel, react chemically with the egg, and allow a single sperm to merge its genetic material through the acrosomal reaction, a process requiring enzymes, energy, and precise molecular signaling. Genetic consequences: if fertilization somehow occurred without sperm, the resulting zygote would contain only maternal DNA, lacking the paternal complement necessary for normal development. Humans possess 46 chromosomes, 23 from each parent. The paternal contribution activates key developmental genes, including those controlling the placenta and embryonic growth. Without paternal DNA, the embryo would either fail to implant or develop into an abnormal growth called a teratoma, not a viable human fetus. Biology demands 23 chromosomes from each parent, even for a god. Which begs the question, which DNA and whose DNA and how was it decoded in the body of this divine beings? Was the Immaculate Conception divine or DNA defiant? An egg cannot awaken itself. Life requires union. What if virgin birth meant consciousness, not conception? Furthermore, biological conception cannot bypass physical barriers. The hymen is a fold of mucous membrane that may be elastic or partially open, but cannot permit passage of seminal fluid directly into the uterus without penetration or medical intervention. Even in cases of assisted reproductive technology, IVF, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, a sperm must still enter the egg through deliberate manipulation. In summary, for conception to occur, sperm must be produced through meiosis and spermiogenesis, travel, capacitate, penetrate the ovum, and merge DNA. Every step involves measurable biological events, none of which can happen spontaneously, mystically, or without male contribution. Thus, a literal virgin birth in humans is genetically and physiologically impossible. Oh, the symbolic dimension. Ancient temples spoke in symbols and not in sperm. The recurrence of divine conception myths suggests that the ancients understood these tales as metaphors for enlightenment, not anatomy. The virgin represented the pure, receptive state of consciousness untouched by ego or corruption. The seed of the divine symbolized the word, logos, or cosmic vibration entering matter to awaken spiritual awareness. The child, born without human fatherhood, symbolized the soul's birth from higher consciousness rather than physical desire. When viewed through this lens, the virgin birth becomes a profound allegory rather than a biological event. It reveals how ancient people expressed the inexpressible, the descent of divine consciousness into human form, through imagery of conception and birth. Through convergence of myth and science, modern genetics and ancient mythology seem to speak different languages, yet both attempt to decode creation. Science describes how chromosomes align and genes express life. Mythology describes how spirit and intention shape existence. While the laws of biology refute the physical possibility of a virgin birth, the persistence of the symbol across 5,000 years, from Sumer to Egypt, Persia, Greece, and Mesoamerica, suggests an enduring truth beneath the literal. Whether seen as ancient symbol, cultural echo, or biological impossibility, the story of the virgin birth endures because it reflects humanity. As greatest question, how the infinite gives rise to the finite, how the unseen becomes flesh, and how divine consciousness awakens within the human heart. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And until we meet in the next episode to decode more forbidden wisdom, may the universe continuously hold you in her palms.